In this talk, we'll talk about chip disaggregation or chiplets. Chip disaggregation is an architectural shift in semiconductor design where a processor or a system on chip is broken down from a large monolithic piece of silicon into smaller modular components called chiplets. These distinct dies, handling extremely specific functions like compute, graphics, I/O, analog, or neural processing, are then interconnected closely together using advanced 2.5D or 3D packaging technologies. A chiplet is a small, specialized piece of silicon designed to operate as part of a larger system. Chip, chip disaggregation came as a solution to see and reduce the yield, impact, and the large size of the dice such that the design complexity also reduces. So in a monolithic SoC, you have all the functions present in a single die that as approach to a different chiplet approach, you have each of these functions laid out separately with a die-to-die connectivity solution or a chip-to-chip connectivity solution which is high bandwidth and large throughput with a lower latency. And what this does is it provides a standard unified interface of communication and ensures that the die size is much smaller. This particular chiplet is typically integrated using a 2.5D or a 3D interposer where it is typically connected within the packaging solutions in advanced packages. This allows for smaller die size but larger package size, and these typical packages can be called as multi-chip modules as opposed to having a very large size die. What are the advantages? If you observe, the RF need not have a low technology node like a 5 nanometer or 3 nanometer. A 28 nanometer might still suffice. The SerDes can still happen at a 5 or a 10 nanometer design for its operation. The memory, GPU, CPU and DSP can be on the latest nodes. So what happens is you disaggregate all of these blocks and use the goodness of the other technology nodes and their recipes for the RF and SerDes as opposed to the monolithic IC that all the functions to have, and this further increases the complexity of having RF working at the lowest technology node, SerDes working at the lowest technology node, which is not their optimal set of designs. Engineering solution, you see the complexity of design in the integration at the SoC level is now transferred to the design and integration at the package level, and that is the chiplet approach. So what are the key benefits of disaggregated chips? Modularity, facilitating flexibility. These were one of the two challenges that we had mentioned, that they are not modular and it is not flexible. This definitely works out. And since they are disaggregated and have smaller die sizes, they have improved heat management solutions. Scalability to meet business needs. Now if you have separate CPUs and separate GPU units, you can add more of them while retaining the same number for the other functions like the memory, I/O and the analog blocks or the RF blocks. And this definitely enables the development and deployment of new technologies and innovative approaches towards integrating AI into the system or neural engines. Now let us take a quick example of Apple's M5 Pro, one of the first dual die SoC. What were the two dies? First die was a CPU die, the second die was a GPU die, and they had a couple of dummy dies to ensure that the connectivity is happening. A typical solution here would be an 18-core CPU, a 20-core GPU, and LPDDR5 9600 unified memory. So each GPU core here can contain a neural accelerator, while the SoC features a separate 16-core neural engine. This definitely aids in having an excellent AI performance going in the future. This particular M5 Pro solution has got LPDDR5X 9600 memory, which translates to 307 gigabits per second bandwidth, and you can see there are 4 such solutions which leading to a 64 gigabyte unified memory. This gives the M5 Pro enough memory capacity and bandwidth to support larger local large language model inference and professional on-device AI workflows. So these two dies, the two die solution, GPU die and CPU die, which contains all the various cores that they have, is easy to integrate on a package level rather than hosting them all of them on a single die.